I actually was the one who convinced the mayor to make it a mandate.
Like, New York City found out that you're having sex parties during COVID?
Yeah, it would have been a big deal. Yeah, it would have been a real bad. We went to some like underground like dance party like underneath a bank in Wall Street. And we were all rolling, we were all taking Molly, and everyone was high. And I was so happy because I hadn't done that in like a year and a half, like a year or whatever. And but I was looking around being like, I wonder if anybody sees me because this was not COVID friendly. The only way I could do this job for the city was if I had some way to blow off steam every now and then. You know, kind of sneaky about it because hotels didn't want people gathering there. Because I was like running the entire COVID response of the city. My wife and I like had one with our friends, like in August of like that first summer. So we rented a hotel and it was fun. We all like took like, you know, Molly and it was like 8 or 9 of us and 8 to 10 of us in a room and everybody had a blast because everybody was like so pent up because it had been like everybody was just like stuck together and stuff like that. Yeah. And sometimes it's not so much about like imagery and sex, sometimes it's just something about like bodies being close to each other, right? Just being like naked with friends.
Was that like when everybody was locked down?
But it was like the summer of 2020. So like walk around the streets and eat outdoors.
Did you have like any mandates in place?
There wasn't any restrictions on gathering, like you could technically gather people. The hotels didn't want us to have parties, but they weren't gonna like. Yeah. It's so funny. It's like this because I did all this like deviant like sexual stuff while I was like, you know, like on TV and all this stuff. Yeah. And people were like, aren't you afraid? Aren't you embarrassed? And I was like, no, actually, I'm like really like I love being my authentic self. So the way we do it in public health is we make it very uncomfortable to be unvaccinated. I don't expect the education to change your behavior. I'm just gonna make it really hard for you to do your job. You can't get a job. You can't go to a restaurant. Your kid can't go to school. It's like, at least you're gonna get vaccinated.
So was it technically like kind of forcing people?
Yeah, that's what you force people by making it really uncomfortable.
You know, folks, I really thought that nothing would be able to surprise me anymore, or shock me anymore, or get me pissed off anymore. I mean, you always get PO'd to a little extent, shocked to a little extent, surprised, startled. But this story, this piece of shit, this Dr. J. Varma, has got me so riled up, so upset, that I gotta watch myself because I don't know. I want to say so many things, but you know what? We don't have freedom of speech here on these platforms. But just like here it is. So it was technically like kind of forcing people. This POS, this doctor of medicine, who is having sex orgies and sex parties and taking drugs and ecstasy and mollies, like he's saying, with his friends. Before the pandemic, during the pandemic, after the pandemic. This is the guy that New York put at the front of the vaccine mandate for the entire city, the state of New York. This POS. Folks, I want to go through this video of his because there's so much stuff there to be taken a look at. And Steven Crowder is the one that broke the story. And it's gotten over, at this point right now, it's over 5 million views. This is an incredible, unbelievable story, but I want to give you some of the backstory to it and take a look. All of a sudden, you know what? His X account, the Twitter account, deleted. All his other accounts, deleted. It's like, you know, bleach bit. Oh, you mean like with the clot? Remember Hillary the idiot Clinton saying that? You got to see this other video of him basically telling New Yorkers, oh, you got to get the vaccine jab, you know, and we can't have any type of exclusions out there. You know, because, oh, you know what, if all the people with money had exclusions, then what would happen? No, you got to take the jab. This guy was basically saying, if you don't like it, I'm going to make your life miserable. I'm going to make it so you lose your job, so you can't go and eat in a restaurant, so you can't buy groceries for your kids, so your kids will starve. They won't be able to go to school. You're going to lose your house. You're going to not be able to pay your mortgage. You're going to lose your car because you can't make your car payments. this piece of crap, this POS, as part of his government bureaucratic duties, was doing things in terms of such a fascist way, using powers beyond the scope that he had. And then, like he's saying there, sex parties. And he goes, oh, it wasn't just about the penetration. No penetration. Nothing like that. No. It was just about, bodies being real close together. That's what it was all about. We had 8, 9, 10, 12 friends over. Because we were just so pent up inside. We just had to do something. I just had to do something. I just had to have some sex. I just had to have some mugs. I just had to have some ecstasy. I just had to have some, drugs. Because it's all I could do to survive, to stay sane. What the hell is New York City going to do? We need to, this person needs to be brought to justice to answer for what the hell he was doing at that time. Unbelievable. Let's go to this video of this guy, okay? Just talking out of both sides of his ass. Listen to this crapola, folks. So before we get to that, let's just take a look at this here, folks. J. Varma, physician, epidemiologist, infectious diseases, public health, opinions all my own, chief medical officer, director. All of a sudden, this account doesn't exist anymore. Really, it doesn't exist anymore. I wonder why. This guy's a POS. He's a piece of shit. Unbelievable. Now let's get to that video I was talking about that was made some time ago when he's discussing, basically saying that we need to force this jab on every single person, and if you don't, I'm going to force you to do it, or I'm going to make your life a living freaking hell.
We enacted this mandate, and I use we because I was an advisor to the mayor during the time when this was happening, is because it's so important for adult New Yorkers to be vaccinated to preserve our healthcare system. This virus is not done with us. It continues to evolve and be a threat. The single biggest threat we have in New York is adult New Yorkers getting sick and basically overflowing our hospitals so that it jeopardizes everybody's health and safety. And the single best way to achieve that is to have high levels of vaccination in adults. So this private sector mandate did that. Now, the problem is,
so once again, Dr. J. Sharma, this MD, POS, should be added to the end, MD, medical doctor, piece of shit, that's what it should be added to, is lecturing us and saying that, everybody needs to get the jab and adhere to all the rules and regulations of staying indoors, not going out to eat, not going to visit loved ones, under lockdown, but they're having secret sex parties inside hotel rooms with close encounters of who knows what kind. Oh, the non-penetration as they was talking about, right? Just the closeness of the bodies. What was the 6 feet rule? And this guy has the nerve to come out and is making videos on applying the rules to what? We, but not for thee. Let's continue and hear what the good doctor, the POS, has to say. Yes? I think I want to know more about this. Absolutely.
Jeopardizes everybody's health and safety. And the single best way to achieve that is to have high levels of vaccination in adults. So this private sector mandate did that. Now, the problem is, as soon as you start to make exemptions for one favored group versus another, and if those exemptions aren't based on the
like those groups that want to have sex parties and take drugs, those kind of exemptions for those groups, right?
Justification, which is that all adult New Yorkers need to be vaccinated, the courts can throw it out. They can say it's what's called arbitrary and capricious, and therefore, you're picking and choosing winners. That's one concern. And the second concern is kind of the social or the moral concern, which is, what type of message does it send to New Yorkers
if, rich people, powerful people, connected people basically get to make their own rules. The principle of responding to an epidemic is
Oh, the moral rules, Dr. POS. The moral rules. The moral rules, Jay. Shit, Sharma. The moral rules you're talking about. The sex parties, those moral rules. The taking of drugs. Were you high when you were seeing patients or doing something? Were you high during any of your meetings during work? Were you taking drugs? Were you under the influence? These are the questions I think a lot of people would like to know, Dr. J. Sharma, MD, POS. I'd like to know. The citizens of New York would like to know. The mayor appointed your POS. That's who the mayor of New York City. When was this Eric? I don't even know. This right under Eric the Idiot Adams? That idiot, that moron? That guy who said, oh yeah, hey, listen everybody, we want to be the sanctuary city. Come on, illegals. Come on, we can handle you. We love you. Come on over. 5 minutes later, he's on his knees begging. Greg Scott in Texas, governor, begging the border governors, please, please, don't send us any more illegal aliens. We don't have no more money. The government's not giving us any more money. We can't house them. We can't feed them. We don't know what to do. Please stop. That mayor, was he the one that, if he wasn't, hey, whatever mayor it was, I don't care. Could have been Eric Adams, could have been, blankety blank, blank, blank. Kathy Hochul, the governor, I don't give a crap. This is unbelievable, folks, unbelievable. Now, if you stuck with me, let's go back to that video again. I just want to give a reaction. There's so much in that video that's unbelievable. They got this on tape. It's amazing. Now, the only thing is there going to be is there any good that's going to come out of it? Are people going to go to jail? Is anything going to change? Can this guy be sued criminally for criminal liability, medical malpractice? Can the state be sued? The mayor's office, can anything come out of this that's, can a diamond come out of this lump of shit coal that we've got? With pressure being extracted, that's what needs to be done. So hopefully this thing has millions and millions and millions of more views. Share this video, please, okay? Let people know about it. Let's go to that video again, right from the beginning of Dr. J. Sharma, MD, POS.
I actually was the one who convinced the mayor to make it a mandate.
Like, New York City found out that you're having sex parties during COVID?
Yeah, it would have been a big deal. Yeah, it would have been a real bad. We went to some underground dance party underneath a bank in Wall Street. And we were all rolling, we were all taking Molly, and everybody's high. And I was so happy because I hadn't done that in a year and a half, a year or whatever. And but I was looking around being I wonder if they see me, they're gonna do it. Because this was not COVID friendly. The only way I could do this job for the city was if I had some way to blow off steam every now and then. I was thinking about it because hotels didn't want people gathering there. Because I was running the entire COVID response for the city. My wife and I had one with our friends, in August.
His wife was also, he got his wife involved in these sex and drug and ecstasy-laden parties. He got together with his friends, right? But he had to blow off steam. He had to blow off some steam because he was in charge of the whole COVID response for the city.
That first summer, so we rented a hotel. It was fun. We all took Molly, and it was 8 or 9 of us, and 8 to 10 of us in a room, and everybody had a blast because everybody was so pent up because it had been everybody was just
I like the way this undercover reporter is going, oh yeah, like I bet. Tell me more, Dr. J. Sharma, MD, POS. I believe these guys are so freaking stupid. They're so unbelievably moronic and stupid. They might have a degree after their name, but God, these guys have no absolute common freaking sense at all. And thank God for that. So they spill all this, okay, like a bunch of stupid, idiotic, moronic retards, and we get to get it live, in person, on tape. Now, the only thing is that, what's going to come of this? Right? That's what I keep asking. What's going to happen other than embarrassment for these guys? And these guys, well, they care about embarrassment. They don't give a crap about if they're embarrassed or not.
Stuff together and stuff like that. Yeah. And sometimes it's not so much about like penetrative sex type stuff. Some of it's just
it's not like about penetrative sex type stuff. No. Some of it is just something. Some of it is just something like what? What is it like just something, Dr. J. Sharma, MD? POS? What is it then if it's not penetrative sex type stuff? Just tell me what it is.
something about like
just about like bodies being close together. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of us in a room having a sex party, taking our mollies and our ecstasies. Just being close to each other. And penetrating each other wives and having, wife swap and husband swap, right? Oh, I bet you the DNA was flying around that day, right, Dr. J. Sharma, MD, POS?
bodies being close to each other, right? Just being like naked with friends.
Oh, it's just like being naked with your friends. Just a naked party. That's all it was. I mean, you guys have those, don't you? I mean, hey, out there in the audience, put down your comments below. You guys have naked parties, don't you? You share nakedness, right? But you only do it when you're under the influence, right? I mean, that's just a normal thing in flower country, correct? I mean, it's not just the left and the right coast that are doing these things, right, guys? It's not like the hoity-toity and the elite. Hey, you guys out there in Nebraska and Oklahoma, you guys do this all the time, don't you? In flower country, you're having all kind of molly and ecstasy parties, swapping spits, swapping wives, swapping husbands, swapping all day long, swapping all night long. Is that what you guys were doing after COVID? During COVID? Before and after? Do you continue doing that like these guys do?
It was like the summer of 2020. So like walk around the streets and you could eat outdoors. You couldn't eat meat.
Did you have like any music in place?
There wasn't any restrictions on gathering. Like you could technically gather people. The hotels didn't want it inside parties, but they weren't gonna like.
Yeah.
It's so funny. It's like because I did all this like deviant like sexual stuff.
He did all this deviant. He did like sexual stuff. Well, I was like, like on TV. He was doing all this deviant sexual stuff. Look at this face here. God almighty, what a gross face. Unbelievable. Dr. J. Sharma, MD, POS.
Like on TV and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And people are like, aren't you afraid? Aren't you embarrassed? And I was like, no, actually, I'm like really like I love being my authentic self.
That's his authentic self. That's his authentic self, folks. He's just a sex-starved doctor. He's an addicted doctor. That's just his authentic self. At least he's being truthful about it now.
The way we do it in public health is we make it very uncomfortable.
There it is. There it is. The way we do it in public health, we act like Adolf Hitler, Joseph Mengele. We become fascist dictators. But we tell it's the other guy, Orange Man, bad. Republicans, bad, they're the fascists. Conservatives, they're the ones that want to lock you down. They're the ones that want to, do all kinds of things. My body, my choice. Oh, that only matters in abortion when you want to kill your babies. My body, my choice has nothing to do when you get vaccines. When it's vaccine time, my body is not my body. It's their body. That's what these guys are like. Make it very uncomfortable. to be unvaccinated. Geez, I wonder how they were doing that. Shaming anyone?
To be unvaccinated. I don't expect the education to change your behavior. I'm just going to make it really hard for you to do your job. You can't get a job. You can't go to a restaurant.
There it is. Can't get a job. He's going to make it as hard as he can. Can't go to a restaurant. Look at that face. Look at that POS face right there, folks. That's the face of a POS right there. Your kid can't go to school. Lose your job. Can't pay your mortgage. Can't pay your car payment. Can't buy groceries. That's what he's going to do. But Donald Trump is a dictator. Donald Trump is a fascist. Conservatives are fascists. Conservatives want to control your body.
Kid can't go to school. It's like, okay, I'm just going to get vaccinated.
And that's basically what happens. That's exactly what happened. If you don't get the jab, we're going to fire you. And they did fire people. And now those people that got fired, I believe, have a rightful lawsuit. And they should sue the city. They should sue this POS, this scumbucket, this scumbag, this medical doctor who, I mean, that to have the MD degree after his name is just absolutely, I mean, it just sullies the degree. He just basically, pisses on the MD for this guy to behave this way. It's unbelievable, folks. Unbelievable. Anyways, we appreciate you taking the time to watch. We'd love for you to share this video. Share it with as many people as you can. Like, share, and follow us. Y'all know what to do. You've been watching the Dr. Nasir Shaikh Show. I've been your host. My name is Dr. Nasir. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. Check and look at our other links, video links above and below. Put your comments down below. What do you think of this POS? Do you agree with them? Or are you with me? And as my final thought, I'll always leave it with this. When you're right, you're right. And I have never, ever, ever, ever been so right as I am on this. And if you're left, you're like this MDPOS scumbag. And until next time, folks. Oh, they're just wrong. And until next time, folks, take care and stay safe.